Good evening. This is Gideon's Take in 20 minutes. I bring you news from Kenya and across the world in the best way that you can understand. And also, today I've been given an opportunity to serve as the millennials spokesperson. So I will start with the breaking news. Breaking news. There's been a lot of speech and talks about genz. Wanaenda wakiuliza kila mtu bagi ni nini, bagi ya nini. Millennials wamenituma wakasema waache kuuliza story ya bagi ni nini. Ile time wameng'ang'ana kukimbiza the bag na wapata the bag, ndio mnakuja kuuliza bagi la nini. Wameniambia I talk to Gen Z people, niwaambia wa Gen Z, you chase the bag, mkishapata the bag you know bagi ni nini. Sawa? Otherwise hata mimi siji bagi ni nini. By the way, Gen Z, bagi ni nini? So now we are going to the news directly. I have been giving you news about Dr Mutiso, who was shot in Milimani or upper Kilimani, and since she was shot, I have been giving you the updates of what's happening. Yesterday there was that celebration of her life, uko Kadentro, and today Amin, that is the DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions, has come out and said that the man behind the trigger has been found and is a policeman or police. It's a police officer from the police station in Nderi, and he said that this police officer has been arrested. There were news that he was on the run, but another news saying that he has been arrested. So it is in between him being on the run and being arrested. And developing news, it is said that when Amin was giving his speech, he said that the man behind the trigger was in contact with Gachagua. Even the person who was carrying the man who pulled the trigger was also in conversation with Gachagua the same day that the trigger was pulled. So here it is between politics and so many other gray area. So in one place we could say that Amin is playing politics with the death of Dr Mutiso, and we can also say that when Gachagua disputes this killing or the conversation with these men, it also might be politics. It is difficult at this moment or at this point when the politics are heated and everything is being talked about as if we are putting conspiracy theories between one person and the other. We are fighting to put Ruto out of the seat of the presidency, and also we are trying to make Gachagua as popular as possible in Mount Kenya. Now it comes out that when Gachagua is associated now with people who pulled trigger towards the killing of Madam Dr Mutiso, it becomes so controversial to talk about it. But now let us take a moment and talk about it. Let us assume that it is correct that Gachagua was in conversation with these people who pulled the trigger and killed Dr Mutiso. First, might it be a coincidence that these are his friends, people who he just talks about with every now and then and something like that? Can it be something like that? Or can we put it in another way, say that now that he was in conversation with him, and that the conversation can be retrieved and be read? Will we be able to know the content of the conversation and what transpired? And if Gachagua was involved in the killing of Dr Mutiso, what was his main aim? Those are some of the questions that we'll be asking ourselves. So I'm also going to be following on that. Otherwise, the person behind the trigger, that is a suspect behind the trigger, that is not conclusive, because this is DPP who has said that they have caught the suspect. So it's going to be taken to the courts and is going to be judged. So if it's certain that he was the one who was behind the trigger, the reasons are going to be retrieved and the public will be made to know everything that happened and whatever transpired towards the killing of Dr Mutiso. Otherwise, you're going to be following closely the conversation between Gachagua being in contact with these people, their relationships, and how it might impact or affect his popularity or his politics going forward. Because it is one thing for a politician to be involved in malice, and it's another thing for a politician either to lose their popularity or to gain more, because sometimes you might use bad publicity just to make yourself be heard or to make yourself more pronounced. For instance, when a bad person rises or does something bad, we might say that, okay, we are used to that person doing bad things, or we are just used to those things happening from this person. And they might be hiding from that speech or that conversation where people say that, okay, if it is that person, we are sure that we expected that. So it is nothing new. It is nothing that can make us feel like we are threatened or anything. So was Gachagua involved in the killing of Dr. Mutiso? And if he was, what was his intention, or what was he going to gain from it? For him, speaking in Kiambu while he was opening DCP offices in Kiambu, he said that he could not be involved in killing of Dr. Mutiso because at that moment he was in Omunyoro. But you know how killings happen. You have to find a way or disclaimer whereby you say, I was not there, I was doing this and this and that. You see how in the movies how they plan them. Someone just makes a move that you just think beyond what the normal person could have seen. So you make them believe that since you are doing this other thing, you could have not done the other one. So we are going to be following that and giving you the news as they come very, 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 very swiftly, and we are going to give it in a very timely manner. In other news, in Makueni, there is another man who was arrested by the police on Thursday evening, and after being taken to the police station in Kilungu, he was pronounced dead while he was still in police station. This is another case whereby from Ojuang, from the other man Otieno, who died in police station and over the weekend. And now in Makueni, there is this one, Gideon Makau was arrested in Kilungu. He was arrested in his own business premises. He was accused of possessing a panga. You know, when someone wields a panga, it is simply like a weapon. So he might have been threatening people. I will follow on that story. Is also we follow what might have caused his death in the police station. And also, being accused of carrying a panga, he was now taken to the police station. After being taken to the police station, he did not even finish the night. He was pronounced dead. Can this be a coincidence, really? Because we have had so many cases whereby a person taken to the police station when they are complete and they are old and they are healthy, but before they come out of the police station, they are pronounced dead, or they are injured, or even they are in a very bad condition whereby they will need to seek medical condition urgently. So we are going to be following these stories and bringing them to you. Otherwise, you should know that one Gideon Makau from Makueni was taken to Kitungulu police station, but before he was taken from the police station, he succumbed in the police station. You don't know it was through injuries, you don't know it was through cold, maybe he had pre-existing conditions. So we are going to be following that, and when we get it, we bring it to you as fast as we can. In the other news, you have known that Pastor Mackenzie was arrested after he lured a lot of people to fast to their death, and they had a mass grave in Shakahola. Shakahola is a very famous place where these people were buried, and most of them were going to pray in that forest. So after you die in that forest, you are told when you die praying and fasting, you're going to go to heaven direct. So Mackenzie was leading this group of people who were sacrificing themselves so that they can see heaven. Even some were leaving very lucrative jobs for them to go and seek the name of Jesus so that they can attempt to reach the kingdom of heaven. So one of the witnesses, they said that when she was at her home, Pastor Mackenzie came to their home and she turned into a snake and killed her husband. This is something that I find funny, because for someone who can turn into a snake, now I would ask myself, now that he has been locked in police station, why can't he just turn into a snake and just escape from police station? So something that we should be looking into. And since there are many things that are going on, there are very many conspiracy theories that can arise, and also we are not even discharging claims, because we understand that there are places where these things happen. I don't know whether they are true or just people believe in them and they happen. So we'll follow that and give you the news in details. In other news, in Malindi, a court said that if constitution was followed word for word for what it means and what it says, elections should have been held this August date 11. That is around 4 days to come. So now we would be in the last. Now the campaign would be closing today, so that now the next week Tuesday we would be having our elections. they said that looking at what the constitution said, that the election should be held in the second Tuesday of August in the 5th year of that regime. He said that this should be the year that the election happening, instead of whatever ABC has proclaimed, that is the coming year, August 11th, which will be, I think, August 14, which will be now the second Tuesday of August after 5th year of presidency. So that is it works with the interpretation of the constitution. So if you interpret the constitution, that clause that says that the election should happen on the 5th year, that is on the second Tuesday of August of every 5th year, it means that the president will have a span of 4 years to lead the country. Then the 5th year he can go into campaign, so that before the end of that 5th year the election happen. Now we go into another cycle of 5 years. But now, according to our Kenyans and our ABC interpreted those clauses, they say that no, the president will go to the presidency, they will run for 5 years. Then after 5 years, immediately after 5 years, the second Tuesday of August of the year after the 5th year, that is when the election are happening. So that's why the election are in 2027. This case has been pushed now forward to 2027 after the general election happens, so that they can review that clauses and that they can see whether the election will be happening on the second Tuesday of August of every 5th year, not after the 5th year. So that is something that should be talked about. So I would like to get your knowledge or even your interpretation on that clause, so that we can talk more and discuss more about it. However you understand it, and if it should be amended, for it to be more clear, how to be clear, they should amend it, so that the people can read it directly and understand exactly whatever it means, instead of just interpreting things and giving people a lot of things to talk about. In other news, a man in Kakamega has been imprisoned for a life sentence after he has been found guilty of molesting his child or daughter who was 2 years. And sometimes I feel like we give very lenient prosecution, or lenient. We are too lenient to these criminals. Sometimes molesting a 2-year-old, should not be taken slightly, because you cannot say, it's not where we say like, you are working with a teenage who might have dressed inappropriately, maybe who seduced you, maybe looked at you in a type of way, or you talk to them, they said no, but in a way that does not mean no. Or we can someone who is grown, who is above 13, 15, 16, we can say these are things that we can interpret in a better way. But someone who is 2 years, you are a father of that child, you are mandated to take care of that child. Then now you are found that after some time that you molested or you did something bad to that child, either beating the child, harming the child, just causing any kind of harm. And now, worst of all, now you're molesting the child. It's your child, your blood, your everything, you're molesting it. It's 2 years. Molesting a child is 2 years. That child cannot even talk. That child, even she has no sign of seducing you. She has just an innocent soul. You just destroy such a person from such a young age. Then you're given life imprisonment. I think that too lenient for someone who is like that, unless now they have said that they have some kind of mental illness, of which also you should not be left to stay with such kind of mental illness amongst the people. You should just be taken out. And otherwise, if you don't have mental illness, first get a castration. That is, I don't know, not even chemical, that's the physical one, which is given to the donkeys. Let me give you a story. When donkeys in our area, they become too nasty, napata punda inakuuma, inakupiga mateke. The thing that we did to them, so that we can sterilize them and make them a little bit friendly and things that you can operate with, you used to castrate them. And this castrating was not the chemical castration that people talk about. You just take something like a tongue that you just hook the balls, the strings. So find that donkey from there henceforth is not operational. So same thing should be happening to this kind of people who molest children. It doesn't matter. Any child who is under 18, I think that's something that should be done to these people, because someone who is under 18, that someone cannot make their own decisions. It doesn't matter either they said yes or no. Someone who is under 18, before you have any sexual encounter with someone, please make sure that you ask them, do you have an ID? If they cannot prove that they have ID, leave that person alone. Look for another one. There are so many old people out there who would like your company. You can keep them company in the meantime. When the child goes to collect ID, you can be waiting now, working with other older, experienced people. Stop molesting children. That is my message. Because if this is taken in context and these people are given a very extreme punishment that they can never forget, I think these people are going to get manners, and people learn very fast when they are put into trial, or when they are given a reason to think. People tend to think, because if they are left to roam amongst the people, they might continue doing these things, and they are not going to be very, very, very good. So these people should be given the worst execution ever. I don't know where the death penalty was taken out of the laws of Kenya. I don't know when or if it was taken out. I was reading some time back, and it was said that it was not taken out. It just put to be mild. So the life imprisonment was equated to death penalty, of which I don't think it is the same. This person should be punished and should set an example to people who might be thinking things like those. So that's it. In other news, the governments are going to be fitted with trackers, so the government can be tracking this vehicle, where they are going, how they are being done, how they are operating, so that these people who operate these vehicles can be put into accountability. But now the question now comes in: if these people cannot just be accountable when they're in the eyes of the people, the way they conduct themselves before the people, will they really be bothered by this kind of trackers being put in their vehicles? Really, that's something that we should be thinking about. In other news, Linda Party that announced just that they were being given their go-ahead and they have been certified to be a political party in Kenya, has taken out a possibility of Linda Mwananchi to register as a political party, claiming that if they register as Linda Mwananchi and there is a Linda Party, there is going to be a conflict of interest. Although the owners of this Linda Party are not so clear, they claim that they registered this political party since 2024 and now they just got their certificate. So my question would be like, who are these people behind this political party? And even though they filed to be certified as a political party since 2024, where has it taken so long and you can just apply and get the certificate? Because when you look at the Linda Mwananchi, she was given 1 week to be cleared for it to be a political party. And now you hear someone saying that they applied in 2024 and now it's the time that they are claiming their certificate. There is some gray area there that we should be looking at and asking ourselves, really, who is behind this political party? What is the intention? Why do they want to kill the movement of the people? Why do they want to come and interfere with what the people are creating and what the people want? So it is something that it's a gray area there, so we should be looking into it and see whether we can interpret it better, because I feel there is some malice behind it. There are people in the government who are being fought fearlessly, like the people of Ruto, who could have pushed it so that like these people can stop Bwana Sifuna from getting a pie of this government when it comes to 2027, because we are saying that Linda Mwananchi will be leading Kenya come 2027 going forward. So let us see if they are going to appeal and whether they are going to be given a chance to go ahead and apply for their political party as Linda Mwananchi. If not that, they can just apply with something else and that we can wear that outfit and that will propel him into presidency if he is serious. If he is not, he's going now to have an excuse saying that the Linda Mwananchi slogan was taken, I don't know what to do. He will just become a crybaby, and that I will tell him, if you do that, Bwana Sifuna, I will say shame on you, because people have put a lot of faith in you and you should always protect the people. In other news, in Elgon parliamentary seat aspirant Nathano Wasama was shot dead at his home in Bungoma, and that day that's chapters at night. In politics, we say that enemies, there are people who like put put all their eggs in one basket. So when they see you trying to touch or to disturb that basket, they can come for you and they will come to you fiercely. So I think this is what happened to Mr. Osama, that is Northern. While he was now trying to vie for my Mount Delcon, that is parliamentary seat, someone saw him as a threat and they said that no, you are not going to be threatening us anymore. So they just took him out, and the assailant is also on the run. We are going to be following that also to see who shot him, why, and what could be the possible reason for you to shoot someone to death, or just vying, just being an aspirant, because sometimes aspirants can get out of the race anytime. It is too early for now for aspirants to be serious. So there's a lot of room for these people to get out of politics. So you don't have any reason to shoot these people to death. In other news, Senegal court imprisons 3 TikTokers after they were said to have insulted the president. It is said that the president saw it as Nikaku Kiuka, the law whereby they insulted him. So he said that these people are going to be imprisoned 3 months and 2 months consecutively. That is, one is going to get 3 months because he was vocal, he has a higher reach and was too influential. Then the other 2 were a little bit or lesser influential. They are going to get 2 months in prison, and that is something that we are looking into, because if the freedom of speech can be tampered like that, it is not something that is setting a very good precedent. So you have seen that happening in our country, by when the president first threatened, they say that when you say one term, you are threatening the president. When you call the president Kasongo, or when you say Kasongo, you are insulting the president. But now the people say that when they say Kasongo, where is the no president coming in that statement? Because I've just said Kasongo, so I can say Kasongo anytime, just because I can say it, just because it's something that fascinates me. So why put TikTokers in prison just for expressing themselves? However, sometimes these people can be linked with the opposition or politically linked. So unless now they are fighting politically, of which now even fighting politically using the instruments of the state, this is not something that is nice, because you're overstretching, you are misusing your power as a president. So you should let people talk, because as much as people talk, they become harmless. But when you suppress the people's voice and speech and everything, when you take the freedom from the people, these people are going to be fighting back, and you not like it. So just let people talk, let them keep on talking, and see they are going to be tired in a very short time. In other news, apparently Infantino was given the go-ahead to continue being the president of FIFA by the African countries. If you consider, if you look at it closely, the countries that have supported FIFA for a very long time, which are influential, which have the financial muscles, are the UEFA countries and the FA countries, which finance the FIFA in a very big deal. So they are saying that as long as Infantino is still the president of FIFA, they are not comfortable, and their offer to withdraw from the World Cup is still on the table. So him being sworn in or being validated by African countries, that does not give him a lot of influence. So you should look at whatever the people are saying and hear them out, because it's not nice for him to keep on fighting with people who we cannot win a fight against. So this the news that I've been bringing to you since the UEFA countries said that they are going to withdraw from World Cup because he was trying to privatize FIFA. Then he called a meeting in Morocco whereby the executive told him he can continue being the president, and now it is coming out that he was just sworn in by African countries. So you see, he could have influenced them in so many ways, because African countries have some kind of weakness when you see cash. So I don't know, I'm not going to talk more about that until I get a clearer picture of what transpired in that executive meeting. Until then, keep in touch, and I'm going to bring you the news as they come in, swift, perfect, and very quick, and in a timely manner. Mohaji Chopefu was appointed the Wiper Patriotic Front Deputy Party leader. That is after Kalonzo Jamle Kirungu Kamau becomes the party chairman, and then Negwajiru becomes a party speaker. That is the spokesperson. So these are the people who are going to be steering the Wiper Patriotic Front. So when you see Kalonzo now moving around the country, that is from Kambani to Mombasa to Central Kenya to Western, these are the people that you should be carrying along with him so that they can speak for him, and whatever he's planning, we are going to be hearing from Ndegwa, then Jamli Rungu Kamo is the one who is being to be organizing his movement as chairman of the political party, and also Jijopef Moha is going to be helping him in a big deal. So this seems that Kalonzo is trying to consolidate every person from everywhere instead of just remaining with my Kamba people, that is his Kamba people. He is trying to cause or to influence other people from other regions so that he can see whether he's going to pull his power together and also come to the people in a way that matters a lot. In other news, Ugandan parliamentary has approved that the Ugandan Defense Force, that UPDF, can now be deployed in Gaza. When you look at it closely, this is a very political statement that I'm about to say, but Uganda is a country that is very, very close to the Netanyahu's government. So anytime Netanyahu calls for their help, Uganda is almost willing to sacrifice everything that they have so that they can please the people in the Middle East. But these are the news that I would like you people to discuss about. I'm not going to talk about them a lot. In other news, the University of Cambridge professor has resigned after now he was accused of plagiarizing his work. Now let us talk about plagiarism. Plagiarism is something that is very controversial. For instance, you do your work, you write everything that you do, then you have to research. When you are researching your content, sometimes you have to cite the source that you have researched. So for instance, now let us say you are talking about the origin of Kenya or the development of Kenya since 1969. There are people who are recording these developments since 1969. So there are people who have written history books or have written the things that were happening. So when you are writing about the development of Kenya since 1969 and you were not there, there were people who were there. So you should reference these people and you should not quote them directly without referencing them. And also, when you do that, even if you just read the whole thing and put it in your mind, or when you're writing your paper, you remember I had this content from somewhere, but I cannot remember clearly where I got it, but you write it in a way that it cannot be detected by the tools that detect plagiarism. But now when the people are reading your documents, now they understand this content might have come from this source and you have not cited it. These people are going to come to you fast and quick, and they are saying that you have plagiarized your work. So they are going to give you, either the school is going to suspend you or it's going to tell you not to do your work. So this is the professor who did that, and he was now caught, and he has resigned, saying that he is going to give a space for investigation and everything. So we are following up now to see how that happens. And now this one gives me a lot of jittery because sometimes you find that in our country there are people who are forging papers and working in government departments for a very long time without even apology. For instance, there is this one Kenyan deputy director of audit in the office of Auditor General who forged the documents under the office of the Auditor General is the deputy director of the audit, and she forged university documents. She has been doing her work, and also through the whole process she had earned 28.4 million as salaries, that is taxpayers money. And from there, these people have stipends, they are given even per diems and a lot of other benefits from their job. So you see, if someone is resigning just because of plagiarism and no another one is working in Kenya for a very long time and earning in the tunes of millions and millions a month just after forging their documents, you see how systems are broken. So I hope that our systems are going to be better. Otherwise, I would like to see you in the next news. Swali ni moja tu, bag ni ya nini? See you.